A man walks into Ferrari and walks out humiliated. He wasn't a racer, he wasn't an engineer, just a tractor builder. But what he did next didn't just challenge Ferrari, it created one of the most legendary car brands in history. The story of Lamborghini does not begin in a glamorous showroom or on a racetrack filled with roaring engines. It begins with a moment of rejection, quiet, personal, and seemingly insignificant. A wealthy Italian businessman walks into the office of a legend, expecting a conversation between equals. Instead, he walks out with something far more powerful than an answer. He walks out with anger, pride, and a decision that would shake the entire automotive world. That man was Ferruccio Lamborghini, and what he built next would become one of the greatest revenge stories in history. Ferruccio Lamborghini was not born into wealth or privilege. He was born in 1916 in a small farming community in Italy, where life was simple and often difficult. His parents were farmers, and like many families at the time, they expected their son to follow the same path. But Ferruccio had different interests. From a young age, he was fascinated by machines. While others worked in the fields, he spent his time taking things apart, studying how they worked, and putting them back together. He didn't just see tools, he saw possibilities. His natural curiosity eventually led him into technical training, and his skills became even sharper during World War II. Serving as a mechanic in the Italian Air Force, Ferruccio was responsible for maintaining and repairing military vehicles under intense conditions. This experience taught him not only technical precision but also resourcefulness. He learned how to fix complex problems with limited materials and under pressure, skills that would later define his success. When the war ended, Italy was left in ruins. Infrastructure was destroyed, industries were struggling, and resources were scarce. But where others saw devastation, Ferruccio saw opportunity. Using leftover military equipment, he began building tractors, simple, functional machines that farmers desperately needed to rebuild their livelihoods. It was a brilliant move. Demand grew rapidly, and his company, Lamborghini Trattori, quickly became one of the most successful agricultural equipment manufacturers in the country. Within a few years, Ferruccio Lamborghini was no longer a poor farmer's son. He was a wealthy industrialist, respected and successful. But success brought new desires. With money came a passion for luxury cars, and Ferruccio began purchasing some of the finest vehicles available. Among them were cars from Ferrari, a brand that represented speed, prestige, and excellence. Ferruccio admired Ferrari, but he was not impressed. Despite their beauty and performance, the cars had flaws, especially mechanical issues like unreliable clutches. For most customers, these problems were frustrating. For Ferruccio, they were unacceptable. He understood engines better than most, and he knew these issues could be fixed. So he decided to take his concerns directly to the source. He went to meet Enzo Ferrari, expecting a technical discussion. But what he received instead was dismissal. Enzo Ferrari reportedly told him that he should stick to building tractors, that he didn't understand sports cars. That single moment changed everything. For Ferruccio, it was more than criticism. It was an insult to his knowledge, his success, and his identity. But instead of arguing, he chose a different path. He decided to prove Enzo Ferrari wrong, not with words, but with action. In 1963, Ferruccio Lamborghini founded his own car company. His goal was not to compete directly with Ferrari in racing, but to build a different kind of car, one that combined performance with comfort and reliability. He believed that a sports car should not only be fast but also enjoyable to drive every day. It was a vision that challenged the norms of the industry. The early days were filled with skepticism. Many people doubted that a tractor manufacturer could build high-performance sports cars. But Ferruccio was not alone. He assembled a team of talented engineers and designers, giving them the freedom to innovate and the resources to execute his vision. The result was the Lamborghini 350 GT, introduced in 1964. It was a refined and elegant car, offering strong performance without sacrificing comfort. It didn't just compete with Ferrari, it addressed the very issues that had frustrated Ferruccio in the first place. The 350 GT proved that Lamborghini was not just a bold idea, it was a serious contender. But Ferruccio was not satisfied with simply competing. He wanted to lead. In 1966, Lamborghini unveiled the Miura, a car that would redefine the automotive industry. With its revolutionary mid-engine design and striking appearance, The Miura became widely regarded as the world's first true supercar. It was fast, aggressive, and unlike anything else on the road. More importantly, it captured the imagination of the world. The Miura didn't just elevate Lamborghini, it changed the entire concept of what a sports car could be. Suddenly, Lamborghini was no longer an outsider. It was a pioneer. The rivalry between Lamborghini and Ferrari intensified. While Ferrari focused on racing heritage and track performance, Lamborghini emphasized innovation, design, and road comfort. The two brands represented different philosophies, and customers were drawn to both. This competition pushed the industry forward, raising standards and inspiring new levels of excellence. Despite its rapid success, Lamborghini faced challenges. The 1970s brought economic instability, including rising oil prices that reduced demand for high-performance vehicles. Financial pressures mounted, and Ferruccio eventually made the difficult decision to sell his company. The empire he had built out of pride and determination was no longer under his control. Ferruccio retired from the automotive industry, returning to a quieter life. But his creation lived on. Over the following decades, Lamborghini changed ownership multiple times. It experienced periods of growth and decline, struggling to maintain stability in a competitive market. Yet, despite these challenges, the brand never lost its identity. It remained bold, rebellious, and unmistakably unique. A turning point came in 1998, when Audi, part of the Volkswagen Group, acquired Lamborghini. With strong financial backing and advanced engineering capabilities, Lamborghini entered a new era. It combined Italian design with German precision, creating vehicles that were both innovative and reliable. Modern Lamborghini models like the Aventador and Huracan continue to push the limits of performance and design. They are faster, more advanced, and more refined than ever before. Yet they still carry the same spirit that Ferruccio Lamborghini envisioned decades earlier. Today, Lamborghini is one of the most iconic automotive brands in the world. Its cars are symbols of power, individuality, and ambition. They are not just vehicles, they are statements. But beyond the luxury and performance, the story of Lamborghini is deeply human. It is a story of resilience, determination, and the refusal to accept limitations. Ferruccio Lamborghini did not set out to build a car company because he loved racing. He did it because he believed he could do better. He did it because he refused to be dismissed. This is what makes the story so powerful. It reminds us that greatness does not always begin with passion or vision alone. Sometimes, it begins with frustration, with rejection, with a moment that forces you to prove something not to the world, but to yourself. Every Lamborghini on the road today carries that legacy. It carries the story of a man who turned an insult into an empire, who transformed doubt into innovation, and who built one of the greatest brands in history from a single moment of defiance. The next time you hear the roar of a Lamborghini engine, remember what it represents. Not just speed, not just luxury, but a story of courage, determination, and the power of refusing to accept someone else's limits. Because sometimes, the greatest revenge is not anger. It's success. From nothing to everything, if stories like this inspire you, don't forget to subscribe.